Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jen Walling, that's Jen-W-A-L-L-I-N-G, and I'm the Executive Director of the Illinois Environmental Council. Today, I'm joined by Nick Magrisso from Natural Resources Defense Council, Ann McKibbin of Elevate Energy, Chris Nickell, American Wind Energy Management, Senator Don Harmon, Representative Elaine Nekritz, and Representative Ann Williams. I'm very pleased to stand here today with these representatives from the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition. This is an unprecedented coalition with participation from environmental groups, labor groups, and the business community. But this moment is unprecedented too. After all, at this moment, Illinois is at an energy crossroads. Illinois leaders must decide now whether to stick with what we have today. Do we settle for the current energy system that struggles to meet new EPA clean energy standards, regularly raises rates on consumers, and fails to create new jobs? Instead, we can move decisively toward a cleaner, more reliable, and affordable energy future that leaves a healthier environment for future generations and creates tens of thousands of new jobs across Illinois. In fact, as many as 32,000 jobs per year if we embrace clean energy. With that goal in mind, we are proud to announce the formation of the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition. It is a coalition that includes environmental leaders and industry leaders alike, experts in public health, interfaith groups, consumer advocates, and representatives of Illinois' labor community. A broad, diverse coalition. But we have one goal: to promote policies that will maximize the use of renewable energy and energy efficiency measures in Illinois and create thousands of good-paying jobs. And that is to go beyond the 100,000 clean energy jobs in Illinois today. That's 100,000 people right now in Illinois. That is more than the number of people employed in the state's real estate and accounting sectors combined. And it's growing by 9% per year. That's 9,000 jobs a year, if we do nothing. But rather than stand still, this is the moment to press forward. A cleaner and healthier environment, help for consumers, improved public health, and tens of thousands of new jobs for Illinois. All of these goals are within reach, and these are the goals of the members of the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition. Next, I will introduce Nick Magrisso of Natural Resources Defense Council, who is going to elaborate on the goals of the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition.
Good morning. Thanks, Jen. My name is Nick Magrisso. It's N-I-C-K-M-A-G-R-I-S-S-O with the Natural Resources Defense Council. There's been a lot of big announcements this week. Just yesterday, we heard a pretty big announcement from our governor giving his first State of the State address. One of the themes that came up is how to make Illinois competitive. That's a goal that we agree with, and we think that the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition and the clean energy economy would be a very good place to start. NRDC, along with our partners at the Clean Energy Trust, Environmental Entrepreneurs, and ELPC, put out an energy audit last year that found there are currently 100,000 clean energy employees working in the state today. However, we are falling behind. After being one of the nation's leaders in wind power not more than a couple of years ago, our state has installed no new wind last year. We need to update state energy policies that are at the heart of this before we fall further behind. This coalition is calling on the state to re-embrace renewables and energy efficiency for the state of Illinois. If those are realized, we could see tremendous job growth. As Jen just noted, there's a recent report from the Illinois Science and Technology Institute that puts the number at 32,000 jobs a year. That's 32,000 new jobs every year. There's three ways to do this. First, by fixing the renewable portfolio standard and to increase the share of power coming from renewable sources in Illinois like wind and solar to 35% by 2030. We also need to increase energy efficiency standards to reduce overall electricity usage in Illinois by an cumulative 20% by 2025. Simply put, energy efficiency is the cheapest, cleanest form of energy we have. It's the energy we don't use. By retrofitting our homes and businesses, schools and hospitals with the latest energy efficient technologies, better insulation, new windows, lighting, motors for our heating and ventilation cooling systems, just to name a few examples, we can accomplish the same amount of work and use less energy. That's the same warm showers and the same cold beers. Putting people in this capital work, we could take credit for this, for the success that we've had. In 2008, we passed an energy efficiency resource standard that has had huge gains for consumers all across the state. Those savings currently are over $1 billion from existing energy efficiency standards. Third, it's time to pursue market-based strategies to reduce carbon pollution and shift towards cleaner energy, which will provide a healthier future for all Illinois families and our communities. The Clean Power Plan, a proposal recently announced in DC, offers the state of Illinois an opportunity to modernize our energy infrastructure and scale up our clean energy economy. The tools that would be used to realize these goals of that plan also spawn investments in not only the power of our state, but clean our skies and improve the health of our communities. Finally, we need to act now, simply to keep pace with other states. States like Minnesota and Iowa are growing their solar and wind industries and attracting the ancillary businesses that want to locate on a clean power grid, such as Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, all of whom are opening data centers fueled by clean energy. We have just seen in the past week that Oklahoma leapfrogged us over in wind production. They put more than 600 megawatts online in 2014. Illinois, 0. Instead of watching our neighbors prosper, Illinois leaders should make our state the hub of America's incredible clean energy growth, a cleaner and healthier environment which will help consumers, improve public health, create tens and thousands of new jobs for Illinois each and every year. If all these goals are within reach, these are the goals of the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition, which we're here to announce today. And now we'll introduce
Next is Ann McKibbin from Elevate Energy.
Hi, I'm Ann McKibbin. It's ANNEMCKIBBIN. And on behalf of Elevate Energy and the dozens of energy efficiency firms across the state of Illinois with whom we partner, we're really proud to be part of this coalition. The clean energy economy is indeed expanding, and the companies we work with every day are living proof of that. We work with contractors like Mike Hartnett of Constructive Ideas in Champaign, Illinois. He's found that energy efficiency work is a great complement to his company's roofing work, and energy efficiency programs have allowed him to increase and expand his business. He's been able to hire more workers, and he's been able to offer them additional training and energy efficiency certifications as well, which really means a lot to the people he hires because they're gaining additional valuable job skills. Or take Dan Wallace of Envirofoam of America, who's here today. His insulation business is based in Pawnee, Illinois, but does work all across the state. And Dan's insulation business energy efficiency programs have helped him triple his business just in the last 2 years. So we see stories like this across Illinois. And a big share of the credit for that goes to the members of the Illinois General Assembly, because in 2008, they passed bold energy efficiency standards. Those standards have led to thousands of jobs across the state in designing energy efficiency programs, in installing the energy efficient appliances and equipment that's needed in our homes and businesses, and in weatherizing and insulating our homes and businesses as well. Those folks are working in every neighborhood in every town, and they're from across Illinois. They're creating local supply chains within their own towns, and they're helping even more businesses add to their payrolls by reducing the cost of doing business in Illinois. In addition, energy efficiency programs are cutting operating costs for community service organizations like Little City and Palatine. Little City has undergone energy efficiency improvements on their buildings, and they're saving $36,000 a year. That's money that they can put back towards their mission of helping individuals with developmental disabilities lead happy and productive lives. So energy efficiency programs benefit businesses and community service organizations. They also help families reduce their household budgets. These standards have saved consumers in Illinois $1 billion since 2008. And the savings from energy efficiency for low and middle income families can make all the difference. Those who live in affordable housing, if they can find affordable housing, that housing isn't affordable if you have to pay more to heat and cool it. So we urge, in short, when we invest in energy efficiency, we all benefit, and the fact is that we barely scratch the surface in Illinois. We urge lawmakers to increase energy efficiency standards to reduce overall electricity demand by 20% by 2025, which will energize job growth across Illinois. Combined with new renewable energy standards, that'll mean more than 32,000 new jobs, with as many as 25,000 of those coming from energy efficiency. So that's why we're proud to stand with the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition to make that happen.
Next, I'd like to introduce Chris Nickell of American Wind Energy Management.
Hi, my name is Christopher Nickell, Nickell, and I'm with American Wind Energy Management. Our offices are right here in Springfield, Illinois. We were formed in 2007, opened our offices here in 2009. We are a wind power development company. Although our company here is only comprised of 5 individuals, we actually have a much larger economic impact than that would infer because of our use of local contractors for the development of our projects. We hope to increase this impact through several $100 million of investment in the projects we hope to build here in central Illinois. We currently have 310 megawatts in our pipeline, 175 megawatts of that in Logan County, just north of here, and the remainder 135 megawatts here in Sangamon County. The construction of these 3 projects alone will create 465 construction jobs and 31 permanent jobs moving forward. This would also include nearly $2 million of payments annually to the local landowners as we lease the land for hosting the turbines, and also another $2.8 to $4 million per year injected into the local school systems, into the local tax base, 60% of which typically goes to the school districts. Wind turbines are taxed similar to real estate. These projects would, of course, greatly benefit from an improvement to the RPS that Illinois currently has. We believe that bringing our projects to success is weighed heavily on the RPS that we hope to have improved.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce State Representative Ann Williams.
Hey everyone, my name is Ann Williams. I'm a state representative from the 11th District, which is on the north side of Chicago. And in addition to chairing the Illinois Green Caucus, which is a bipartisan group of legislators focused on environmental concerns, I'm also the newly appointed chair of the Renewable Energy and Sustainability Committee. And I am really just thrilled to be here today to be a part of this coalition. Our committee was created to explore economic development and job creation opportunities through increasing the creation of renewable energy resources as well as increased energy efficiency standards. We are hoping in the process of the next couple of years to develop policies to identify and provide for sustainability practices in both the public and private sectors. So obviously being part of this coalition is going to be just a critical part of the committee's mission. My hope is to work hand in hand with the Clean Jobs Coalition to focus on how our energy needs can be met by using clean power critical to a healthy environment. This really is, and I think someone said this yesterday, this really is an unprecedented opportunity for a win-win situation. You know, it used to be that environmental concerns years ago were kind of feel-good additions to the policy discussions on energy. But here our goals are significant impacts on the Illinois economy by creating thousands and thousands of new jobs. And we are very serious about reaching that goal. So I'm looking forward to working with all the coalition partners in the labor community, the business community, and the environmental advocacy groups to make this a reality in Illinois. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce State Representative Elaine Nekritz.
Thanks, Jen. Elaine Nekritz, Nekritz. I'm delighted to be joining the coalition partners this morning. I think this is a very important effort for Illinois. Since the mid-1990s, the deregulation of the electric market has really been successful in Illinois in keeping energy prices low. But we've had a number of forces happening right now, some occurring within the state and some bearing down on us from outside, that are forcing us to rethink our energy policy and how we can best move forward in the state of Illinois. The efforts of the Green Jobs Coalition, I think, are critical to making sure that Illinois has the right policies to foster a green green energy economy, and also to create all the jobs that everyone's spoken about. So while we are focused on making sure that the electric market is the best that it can be for the state of Illinois, the jobs that come with that are an extra special bonus, and I look forward to, again, joining my colleagues and everyone associated with the coalition in making that happen.
Now I'd like to introduce Senator Daniel Biss.
Thank you very much. I'm Daniel Biss, State Senator from the 9th District, which is located in north suburban Cook County along the Lake Michigan lakefront. My last name is spelled B as in boy, I-S-S. The main points have been addressed thoroughly, so I'll be brief. We're experiencing a joyful moment wherein the imperative to enhance the cleanliness of our air, the imperative to ensure a long-term environmental health for our planet, the imperative to have rapid economic growth, and the imperative to enhance economic opportunities for working middle-class people are all pointing in the exact same direction. The exact same direction, and that's the direction advocated by the Illinois Clean Energy Coalition. We are experiencing, as Representative Nekritz pointed out, a confluence of events, some a consequence of changes in the internal energy market and some a consequence of more national phenomena, to provide us with an extraordinary opportunity, but also the responsibility to act as quickly as possible. We all have a very clear understanding of the direction that the country is going on these issues, the direction the world must go on these issues, but there's an enormous, enormous dividend to be paid to those who move earlier. And so as we envision a world 20 years from now where the mix of energy resources being utilized throughout the Midwest as well as the country will be different from what it is now, we understand that the economic benefit to those who are in a situation where they'll be producing and selling rather than buying and shrinking is going to be enormous. And the opportunity presented to us to make the 3 sets of policy changes proposed by the coalition is enormous vis-a-vis its ability to allow us to be a producer, a seller, an expander, a grower of jobs, and a grower of economic opportunity. So I stand here today to express my strong support and my commitment to work with the coalition to enact this legislative agenda, not just as thoroughly as possible, but as rapidly as possible as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just our last speaker today will be Senator Don Harmon.
Good morning, all. I'm Don Harmon, D-O-N, H-A-R-M-O-N, Democrat from Oak Park, 39th Senate District. I'd like to start by quoting a leader from the building trades union who stood with this coalition yesterday in Chicago. This coalition is about 3 things: jobs, jobs, jobs. Yesterday there were some questions that attempted to cast the coalition as being anti-something. I want to make the facts clear. Every major wind farm built in rural Illinois was built by organized labor. Every retrofit of every large apartment building in Chicago was done by organized labor. The largest solar array in Illinois was built by union labor. That's what this coalition is about creating good-paying jobs by unleashing the power of clean energy. If we can raise the energy efficiency standard to 20% and raise the renewable portfolio standard to 35%, we can create 32,000 new clean energy jobs every year once those standards are in place. That's a win for every part of Illinois. It's a win for business. It's a win for labor. And the benefits keep coming, to include everyone who benefits from a stronger Illinois economy and everyone who benefits from a cleaner environment. The potential for Illinois, if we act, is great. And at the same time, the risk, if we fail to act, is enormous. As strong as the clean energy economy is today, with 100,000 clean energy jobs, bigger than the state's real estate and accounting sectors combined, we are at a tipping point. If you wanted to see a new wind farm in 2014, you would have had better luck driving through the Sooner State than through the Prairie State. We learned last week that Oklahoma has passed us by in wind energy. Minnesota and Iowa are making strides on solar and wind. One Illinois firm, Socor Energy, tells the tale. Socor has installed some of the most notable solar installations in the state. Projects involving construction and electrical trades of all kinds, including the rooftop systems at the 2 IKEA stores in Bolingbrook and Schaumburg, a carport system in Moline, and Walgreens' largest solar array at their unique zero energy store in Evanston. But all of the 134 sites that SoCor constructed in 2014 for their commercial and industrial clients were in other states. In California, Texas, Utah, in New England, and the Mid-Atlantic. Their 2015 build plan adds Minnesota and North and South Carolina to this list. These states have taken bold, forward-looking steps to embrace solar energy. Illinois must do the same. Illinois cannot be left behind. There's too much to gain if we act, and too much to lose if we do nothing. That's why I endorse the goals of the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition, and why I will urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we're going to take questions and answers, but before we do that, I just want to recognize a few folks in the room that are part of the coalition today, including Brian McDaniel from Citizens Utility Board. We're pleased to have consumer advocates with us, and folks from Environmental Law and Policy Center, Wind on the Wires, and the Illinois chapter of the Sierra Club. We're pleased to have all these members of our coalition. So now we'd be pleased to take any questions folks have.
So I know we have this renewable portfolio standard, but is it just that we don't have wind plants coming to Illinois because it's too low, or it seems like we already have one? So why the sudden a ton of building and then none at all? Why the drop off?
Sure. Well, we've been advocating for quite a while for a fix to the renewable portfolio standards, and the goals that we'd like to see related to renewable energy have to do with both the fixed and increased portions of renewable energy, 35% by 2030, to meet the goals of the Clean Power Plan. The fix we've been advocating for a while, and many people up here have been leaders in that, and that is more, our policies leading to a point where we have a different market today than we did when the renewable portfolio standards were passed. And so with today's market, we need to update those standards and fix them so we can continue to grow in Illinois. Can we add more of that? Is your question?
ComEd, I'm assuming, still a thorn in the side of this, or what's the whole?
I don't think that we know that there's opposition to the proposal that we need to do. I think there's a lot of support behind a fix, and news sources are saying that this is something that we need to do in Illinois. I think that we'll see a lot of energy issues possibly addressed together during the session, and so this is one of many energy issues on the table.
You haven't heard any opposition from the coal industry?
Yeah, I mean, we put forward these goals today, and with our carbon framework, and they're not weighing in obviously on the renewable portfolio standards or the energy efficiency standards. So today we're working towards these goals where we'd like to advance these policies.
You talked about the federal Clean Power Plan, and obviously there have been hearings on that, and Illinois has begun to try and fix the strategy. How does this specifically fit into that, or perhaps the change in administration change what Illinois may put forward as its proposal to the federal government?
Sure, so I'll answer part of that, but I know Nick from the Natural Resources Defense Council will want to add it. I think that in Illinois, we see that we would like to meet the goals of the Clean Power Plan, renewable energy and energy efficiency. That's the way that we feel that we can meet those goals. And as we've described today, meeting those goals in that way will increase many jobs in the state through doing that. And just to add to it, if you look at the Browner Transition Report, several of these items are mentioned. There's both energy efficiency, a fix to the RPS, and compliance with 111D, which is the Clean Power Plan, all in that transition report. So do you want to add anything to that?
Sure, I think I would say that this is really a historic moment, and the idea that we now have the opportunity and the necessity to develop a plan for our state, so it's no longer an if, it's a when. And as the legislative leaders who just spoke made it very clear, the early adopters have the most to gain. And we haven't seen anyone come out in opposition to developing new jobs. And that's really what this coalition is about. It's developing a lot of new jobs in the clean energy sector of our economy.
And then the President Obama's administration just announced, pulled the plug, to use an apt turn of phrase, on Future Gen. Does that say anything about support for, is it's phrased here, market-based strategies to reduce carbon. And I mean, I guess that was more sequestration or what have you, but how does that kind of the just depletion of that project factor into support for all of these initiatives? And
Sure.
investments?
So again, as you've rightly pointed out, the White House and the Obama administration have been moving steadily towards a solution for carbon, but as well as a solution to really ramp up the clean energy economy. And that's what, again, this coalition is very specifically focused on, is how do we grow the clean energy economy and the renewable energy and energy efficiency sector. So that announcement was not related specifically to what our agenda is here today.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.